Hey book buddies, it's me Katy, and today I'm going to be reviewing / ranting about Althea and Oliver by Christina Morancho. I have a lot of feelings about this book, and some of them require that I give you some spoilers. So the first half of this video is going to be completely spoiler free, and then the second half I'll put some sort of indication on the screen that spoilers are ahead. Also, this is going to be the first predominantly negative review that I've ever done of a book, and I'm a little nervous about that. So I just want you guys to know that the fact that I am going to bash this book does not mean that I'm trying to personally attack any of you, and if you liked this book, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm just a girl sitting in her room staring at a camera under the delusion that people want to listen to my opinions. I'm not a professional critic, and I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. But I digress. Althea and Oliver is a book about two teenagers, Althea and Oliver, and they've grown up together. They've known each other their whole lives, they're best friends, and Althea starts to develop feelings for Oliver. But unfortunately, Oliver doesn't feel the same way, and Oliver has a disease where he falls asleep and stays asleep for weeks or sometimes months at a time. So this book is about the two of them just dealing with those separate issues. I want to start with the things that I liked about this book. The actual writing style is beautiful. Her writing mechanics are gorgeous. Christina Morancho is really good at describing things in such a way where you can really see it in your mind's eye. I really liked the side characters. I didn't like the main characters so much, but I did really like a lot of the side characters, like Minty and Valerie and Matilda. I thought they were really well developed and relatable. And this book is very aesthetic. So if you go onto Tumblr or Pinterest and you just type in the word aesthetic, you get those pictures of like those teenagers smoking on a rooftop and they look all cool and mysterious, and it's very just artsy and aesthetically pleasing. This book feels like that. So I like her overall writing style a lot. I will also say that the second half of the book is much better than the first half of the book, and the characters do grow and they do have character arcs, and I can stand them a lot more towards the end of the story, and it does end in a place that I think is reasonable. But I didn't like the first half of the book at all. I almost stopped reading it because of something that Althea did. I don't like Althea at all. I really did not like her as a character. She has a lot of very self-destructive tendencies, and there is nothing wrong with writing a character who is flawed in that way. I think that's really needed. But something about the way that she never feels remorse for the things that she's doing and the way that she's hurting herself and other people, it just really makes her annoying to me, and I almost couldn't stand her. I will also say that this book is kind of triggery. It deals with real-world issues that really need to be discussed, like substance abuse and sexual assault and self-harm, but it is a little bit hard to read if you have anxiety or if any of those things bother you, so I just want to warn you of that. But the main thing that really bothered me about this book is one specific thing that Althea did, and the way that all of the characters in the book reacted to it. I felt like it was sending a message that I didn't agree with, and it just really pissed me off. But I can't explain that to you in detail without giving you some spoilers, so warning, spoilers ahead. Okay, so early in the story, Althea and Oliver are at a party, and they're both really drunk. At some point, Oliver kisses Althea, and so Althea, because she has such a crush on him, just assumes that they're gonna take it a little bit further, but he stops her and he's like, I'm sorry I just kissed you, I don't know why I did that, I'm drunk, I'm not sound of mind, I don't feel that way about you, I'm not ready to sleep with anybody right now, this isn't a good idea. As I said, Oliver has this disease where he will fall asleep for months at a time. Now sometimes during those periods where he's asleep, he'll kind of wake up, but it's almost like he's sleepwalking, because he'll talk to you and move around and be responsive, but he's not acting like himself, and he does things that are very out of character for him, and he doesn't remember anything that happens during these episodes. So Oliver's mother likes to stay at home with him when he's in these periods of sleep, because she doesn't want him to, walk out into the road or do anything like that. So, but one day she needs to go grocery shopping. So she has Althea stay at the house and watch Oliver and make sure he doesn't get himself into any trouble if he has one of these episodes. So Althea goes into his room and is just like watching him sleep like she's Edward Cullen or something. And he has one of these episodes. He wakes up, but it's very clear that he's not himself. Althea knows that he's still asleep, but they sleep together. Right. After Oliver has already said that he doesn't want to do that. Oliver is clearly asleep. Althea knows that it's wrong. She does it anyway. Does that sound like rape to you? It should, because it is. There's nothing wrong with having sexual assault in books because it's something that needs to be addressed, and it's something that we need to talk about. But the way that it's handled made me so angry because Althea does not feel bad about it at all. She feels a little upset afterwards because he's not going to remember it, and she feels like it was a waste of her time. But she's not upset that she's just raped her best friend. She's not upset about that at all, and she never feels upset about that for the rest of the entire book. Now, Oliver eventually wakes up and she tells him that this has happened, and of course he's really, really angry, and she even says to him, "What? It's not like I'm a rapist." Girl, yes you are! Now fast forward to even later in the story, Oliver decides to tell one of his other friends that Althea did that to him. And his friend's response is, "Are you serious? You got laid? That's awesome!" His friend basically makes Oliver feel like this was a good thing and that Oliver should feel lucky that this happened to him, and kind of brainwashes Oliver into thinking that this was something that he actually subconsciously wanted to happen. Are you serious? Is this even real? Victim blaming in any sense is disgusting and wrong. If you have gone through sexual assault, I don't care what the circumstances were, it is not your fault. And anybody who says that it's your fault is a garbage person. But it also really bothers me because there's this idea that somehow males can't be survivors of sexual assault. Like, sexual assault never happens to males, especially not from females. And that is just wrong. To send this message to your readers that somehow what happened was okay, and to not make any of your characters grow from this experience, to not make Althea feel any sort of remorse, and to just make Oliver decide to suddenly be okay with it, is disgusting. I was so mad at this book that I don't even have the words to describe how angry that made me. I can't forgive this book for doing that, so I'm gonna give it 3 stars. And some of you might feel like taking 2 whole stars away from a book because of one thing that happened in it that I didn't like isn't fair, but I think it's justified. So anyway, if you guys read this book, I hope that you tell me in the comments what you think of it. I really sincerely hope that you enjoyed it more than I did. If you liked this video, feel free to give it a like or subscribe. That would always be appreciated. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye!